from what I recall, you were living with a single mom.
Yeah.
She had 3 kids from 3 different daddies. She was banging all of the daddies,
Not
and except well, I'm assuming that you had some time with her. Otherwise, you would have left sooner, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So she's basically banging 4 guys at the same time, and you're essentially the beta bucks part of the equation. You weren't making a lot of money. Can you kind of fill in the blanks there and just let people know what the starting point was and what brought you to all this?
I was actually making around 100,000 at the time, but I saw myself as a 2 out of 10, right?
Okay.
So I weighed 115 pounds, and she was the hottest girl I've ever met, right? So it was like, oh my God.
115 pounds?
Yeah, dude, I was really
That's
skinny.
light, dude. Like, how tall are you?
I'm 5'9". Now
5'9", 100 and yeah, that's really light. Yeah, super
dude,
light.
I like malnourished, right? And so I didn't eat. Now I'm up to 165 after watching the show and doing the work. But anyway, so I saw myself very low.
What are you at now? Like, what did you level up to as far as your physical appearance?
I'm at 162 in weight, and
Good gain.
I mean,
Okay.
it's just like I don't know if you can see but it's just all muscle. Like I'm getting there. The shoulders are coming in, the back's coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
How did you end up with a single mom with 3 kids from 3 different daddies?
I found her on Facebook, and she invited me over, and she was I mean, she looked so good, right? And it was like I didn't get laid for a year before that, and if it was like ones and twos, but she really ruined my life to the point of suicide, Rich. Like, I fell in love with her because I figured that was the best I could get at the time. And I didn't have a father growing up. I've done like 10 years of therapy to get over that shit. And
what happened to your old man when you were growing up? Did he leave? Was your mom pushing him out of the way, or what happened?
He kicked me out of the house at 14 with my dog. So we went like homeless till I was 18.
Okay, so you had a father until 14, but why did he throw you out of the house?
He just wanted something different, I guess. And he was on prescription pain pills and got addicted. And just a very bad environment. His father did the same thing to him, so maybe it runs in the family. I don't know. But other than that, man, I fell in love with this girl to the point where it was like I couldn't let go once I found out that she cheated on me a lot. Like these guys reached out to me, did me a favor, and I still called her and begged her to take me back. Like it was pathetic, dude.
So all 3 of these guys reached out. You said, "Hey, John,
well,
just heads up."
2 of them did. two of them did. Yeah.
Hey, just heads up. She's coming over every once in a while.
One of them is one of my good friends now. So
okay,
and he's crushing it in life too. But yeah.
Okay,
but they were alphas, that she had kids with. These were big, strong men that compete. So
how old was she?
25.
And how old were you at the time?
29.
She managed to rack up 3 kids from 3 different guys by the time she was 25.
Yeah, dude. The oldest was like 11. So she
did you have it? What? Oldest was like 11?
Yeah, like when she was like 16, she had a kid or something crazy.
No, 25, 11. You're talking 14, dude.
Not well, 14. She had a rough life.
Okay, so like, were there any like red flags going off? Any bells or any like little voice that said, "Yo, dude, you sure you want to do this?"
Dude, my whole stomach, and that's how I found your fucking video. Sorry, YouTube, freaking videos is I was Googling, should I date a single mom? And I found all this content saying, John, don't, because dude, I knew in my stomach, first off, 1-to-1, if she didn't have kids, I didn't qualify for her. Like if you just took the kids out of the equation, she was 9 out of 10 without kids, right? I didn't qualify. So in my stomach, I knew something was wrong. So I started doing research about single moms. And the problem is I found your videos and rejected the advice. Okay, I said.
Why did you reject the advice when you first came across it?
Because I was so desperate to have companionship from her.
Was there something in the advice that offended you, or you just think that I was wrong?
No, it's just, I just needed to be proven wrong,
Okay.
And I think a lot of men that watch.
So you went looking for answers. You found answers. You didn't like the answers. Did you go looking for other answers somewhere else, or did you just kind of like compartmentalize those?
Compartmentalized, and then after our breakup, I just started listening to you exclusively. Like I deleted Apple Music and just listened to Richard Cooper, and it's changed my life. So
where was like what was the aha moment that like said that like forced you to say to yourself, okay, like John, this is stupid. This needs to stop.
With the single mom or with my life in general?
Yeah, starting with ending that relationship.
Well, it was when so I told her I was done after like I figured out she was banging those guys, and then she called the police on me saying that I broke all the windows in her house, and I was in Arizona at the time. She was in Utah. So I had a sheriff meet me in Arizona to prove that that was wrong. So I was supplying, funds to this woman. I made $100,000 a year. I saw myself as a low value guy. That's fine. But she went like batshit shiz crazy on me. And then she said I was harassing her. I went to like, I was a stalker. Then I broke all the windows in her house, and I just immediately like left states. I just to move away for a while.
So aside from the other guys reaching out to you and say, hey, she's coming over, did they alert you to any other red flags with her that you previously just ignored?
Yeah, domestic violence. Like 2 of them had domestic violence cases against
False
them.
Or real?
False to their perspective, real to hers.
Okay. So
false.
Yeah, so that's aligned with her like walking around the house and smashing her own windows on and trying to blame you for it.
Yeah.
So that's like one of the things that I'm always trying to tell guys is like, like there's all these little alert signals, there's these red flags, whatever it is that you want to call them, that will pop up, and you can either pay attention to them and respect them and then walk away from problems, or you can just cast them aside and say, I don't know, that false domestic violence, that guy was probably an idiot, sort of thing, until it happens to you, right? And then you get a phone call from the police department saying, hey, did you break this lady's windows? And you have to go and meet with a sheriff to go and prove that you're in a different state. So okay, so you're skinny, relatively well off for your age, and definitely the wrong relationship. Did you just leave a Dear John letter and pack up your bags and leave overnight?
Yeah, no, I just started driving that day and listening to your podcast, and it became a habit. Like I cried. I was like still beta crying. I was weak for about 3 weeks. I had good support in Arizona, good friends that were more red pilled, that were like, dude, John, don't ever do this again. Like that single mom, 3 kids, you know how expensive that is. You make money, you don't make that much money. So
how long were you with her for, by the way?
7 months.
You could have been on the hook if you were with her for longer to pay child support to those 3 kids.
Yes. In Utah, because she even said that we were married. Like she had this fake engagement ring she would wear.
Yeah. All right. So so you bounce, and then you walk away from that crap relationship, and then you change a lot of aspects of your life, because you change your physical appearance, and you also change your ability to make it rain. To make some bank. So what did you do there?
Testosterone. So the reason why I was so skinny. So apparently when I was 14, I was put on testosterone, taken off early, so it screwed up my hormones. My body naturally just wouldn't produce any testosterone. My levels were like low 100s or something, like almost to the point where it's like I was a woman. So I got on testosterone. 3 or 4 months later, I started, but I was also going to the gym at this time, but gaining no weight. There was something wrong. And the moment that TRT started working, like people started, I didn't notice it, but people said the way that I'm treating them is more dominant and like mature, and I just started progressing in my business. I've been running this business for 4 years, and it wasn't until like 2 months ago we just landed our biggest contract. So, did you ever
see the Huberman interview? I think it was with Friedman. He was talking about how like the entire purpose of testosterone is to make effort feel good.
Oh yeah, and I tell my friends that. Unfortunately, my best friend who was on TRT, he just passed away, but like I told him that it makes effort fun. And I get up at 5 a.m. to go running with the neighbors. I live in so I bought a house, right? A really nice house in St. George, Utah, super conservative out here. And my neighbors, they're old. I mean, there's no one my age with a house where I live, and we go running in the morning. My network is up. And it's just like the effort of waking up is more fun. I used to just sleep in all day and then go run to single mommy. Right, for companionship. Oh, please take me back. I love you. Like,
why did they put you on testosterone therapy when you were a teenager?
Because I wasn't growing. I was 5'2" through high school. I just wasn't growing.
Really?
I'm 5'9" now. Yeah. So like I was also smoking cigarettes by like 12. Like my parents were real winners, So yeah, it was. I was malnourished growing up, no protein. And then they put me on testosterone to make me hit puberty was the reason.
Okay. And then that kickstarted that, and they pulled you off that.
And then it made my whole body never get used to supplying testosterone. So once I got put on it, it was like frying pan hitting you in the face, as you said. Like everything seems different. Colors are brighter. I work harder. I go to the gym.
Did they ever try HCG as a therapy to restart your own endocrine system, or do they just go?
No, but I get
testosterone off?
HCG shots with my testosterone shots.
Right. But I mean, like when you were a teenager, they didn't try that to. Okay. I see.
I don't think so. I don't remember much.
Okay. All right. So you've moved out. You left that behind. There's no ties. There's no legal issues. There's no. He played the role of daddy. You got to pay support here. It was only a short period of time for 7 months. You got in. You got out. You learned your lesson. What did you do to change your ability to earn income?
Okay, this is going to sound crazy, but I believe our subconscious can change the way we think. And if you're listening to hip hop music, F women get money all day, that's like 4 high value people that can do that, but it does nothing for you. So when I'm in the gym, I'm listening to business books, audiobooks, your podcast. When I'm driving, I do a lot of driving. When I'm bored, I'll just drive 12 hours to Arizona to go see friends. And I just fill my subconscious with good content. And it's really changed the way I output deals, structured deals, my motivation. So I don't even have Apple Music anymore. I just listen to
I've said that for a long
audiobooks.
time, that you should turn your car into a learning center. Call it a university or whatever.
I got that from you because you can get like a master's degree in anything you want. I got that from you, Rich.
Honestly, you'll learn a lot more listening to good books or podcasts in your car than what you will sitting in a classroom jotting down notes.
Yeah, for sure.
The most successful people in the world will share their wealth on audiobook, podcasts. And when I say wealth, like I'm talking about knowledge, right?
Yeah, wouldn't you rather have like, JC Maxwell talking to you in the ear versus, F women get money, hip hop music? I mean, or Elon Musk podcast. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that'll, I mean, like the whole F women get money is okay. Maybe you might need to shift your mindset. Like, don't get distracted, go find your purpose. But
right, what
are you doing now that you've, figured that out? So, okay. So, I mean, you turn your car into a learning center.
Yes.
What else did you do aside from getting on testosterone therapy to get your endocrine system working? I mean, you change your diet. Like, did anything else go? Because you put on quite a bit of weight. I mean, you went from 115 pounds to 65, you said?
Yep. In about a year.
In 1 year.
Yeah, I just tagged you on that post from that starting point. And
is it okay if I show it to people?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
And I'm bigger than that photo. That photo was last month. I added another 6 pounds this month. So.
Oh, I got it. Damn.
But it was diet, man. It was all diet. Do you mean to pull it up
online?
online?
Sending me a security code I have to punch in.
Should I just display it online?
No, hold on a sec. I got to put it on my desktop. I'll do it. Come on. Yeah, save info. There we go. So I saw this post here. There was a before and after. There it is. Yeah, you were skinny as fuck. Hold on a second.
What's that?
There you go. So this is the before and after, right?
Yeah.
That is a lot. That is a lot.
Dude, so I spent 30 hours a week in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I ate a lot.
So, I mean, like, let me ask you this question, because I mean, one of the things that I find interesting is I say, well, here's some interesting information. Like I'll take a map and I'll plot some landmines out, like single mommies, crazy women, borderline personality disorder, doing stupid things that don't serve you. I kind of plot them all out, and people go, "Oh, that's not worth it. It's too much work." And they kind of go down this like doom and gloom sort of black pill sort of part of the internet.
Everyone does. I get it. Yeah.
Did you ever go to a place where it was like, it's hopeless?
No, not when I found you. It was hopeless when I was dating her and when I broke up with her. But once I found your podcast, I didn't grow up with a dad, right? So it's like I got coached by the world's best father. This is going to sound really weird, and I don't mean to say it like that, but it's like I was getting coached by like the world's best father all the time. And it came down to business, finance, and women, and it worked. I mean, I think I can't recall one thing that I've followed to the T that hasn't worked that you've said. So, and I mean, my bank account reflects it. My personal houses, I just acquired a gym. So I'm a gym owner now. So, I mean, like you can't make this stuff up. And so there is not one piece of content that did not work for me that you've told men to do. I just think men have to hit their breaking point, do the doom and gloom, and then it's their choice, right? It's like It's not easy. This was hard. Do you know how hard it is to work out for 30 hours a week? I mean, and eat that much. It's brutal, man. But
yeah, well,
that's
what I want to talk about a little bit too, because I mean, you're very skinny. You know, to start out with, you're in a real bad relationship. Your head's on, you know, it's basically screwed on backwards. Right. You weren't making huge bucks, you know, at the time, but some guys just kind of go to a place where they're just like, that's it. I don't want to deal with life. You know, they just kind of go like unplug, and they just kind of like go full on MGTOW, or they just go like full on black pill, and they're like, I'm just going to stay away from all this. It's just not worth it. But like, how did you find the worth in it? Like, what was your why?
I don't hate women. I think women, it's fun.
Women are great, right?
Yeah. I don't hate women. I don't know why people think this show is about hating women.
Women are great. Marriage sucks.
Yeah, I would never get married,
thing.
man. I would never go down the divorce. So my uncle, he'll never watch this, but he made $500 million working for 50 years, right? Mm-hmm. And he sold his company. His wife took half his money within 3 years. And it's like, I got a personal testament to this, and it's like, dude, I would never ever get married. And right now I have 5 girls I'm dating, and one's in the other room, and it's easier. They're all cool with it too.
Was there anything that you came across that I had talked about in any of my videos where it was like, no, he's full of shit with that one. That one's totally not true. Like, is there anything that didn't work?
No, but there was a thing with Sean T that I agreed with about spinning plates. Like at the time I was like, Sean T was like, oh, I don't like that word. And I was like, I could see why that would be bad. But then I got over it because now it's in my terminology. But that's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he didn't really disagree with the notion of exercising some options.
He just hated the term. Like,
yeah, right.
And I get why he did. He's a counselor. I get it. Like, whatever.
It's a defining term. It is what it is.
Yeah, no, it is.
It's like saying I hate the sun for being called the sun. It's just the sun. It's just what it is, man.
Yeah.
The sun is hot, water is wet, women are hypergamous and solipsistic. End of story. Go do the work.
Yeah, the hypergamy thing, that was so cool to watch once I put on the muscle. And like the girls, because there's the girls that I would see at this gym that when I first got there, I was skinny. And now they're approaching me at the gym, just like, hey, John, how's it going? And it's like a complete 180. You know, I went in there, this little weak guy could barely bench the bar.
At what point did that change for you? Like, was it when you hit 150 pounds, when you started to, started to get the results?
3 months ago. Yeah. But I've been picking up women. I think probably 2 months after that photo was taken, I started practicing spinning plates, and they were 5.
Was it awkward for you at first? Because I mean, it sounds like you were really plugged in. And,
I was scared, man. I was terrified. Scared of them like leaving, right? Because I didn't have too many plates, so I was terrified. I was like, okay, I'm gonna maintain some frame here, and I was terrified to send the text. But guess what happened? She responded with encouragement. Like, I was like, what?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it turned her on that I put her down. Like, and I don't mean put her down in a bad way. Just like I softly rejected her and made her want me more.
So, okay. So the strategy of exercising some options and dating several women simultaneously in a non-monogamous fashion, AKA spinning plates, has been working for you.
Yeah. Especially today. Like,
do they ever protest or push back? Is there a lot of shit tests amongst them? Do they ever scrap with each other?
Yeah, but so 2 days ago, there's the door. There's the door to this girl. You taught me that. And she walked out and then sent me this long text. Sorry, it'll never happen again.
Right. Comply or goodbye. Yeah.
Actually, no, she's in the next room right now.
Well, she's back now, so she's obviously complying.
Yeah, she's complying. So
what was the fight over? Why did you have to show her the front door?
She was just complaining something about the dog hair on the couches, and I was like, well, you could clean it. And she's like, what? I was like, well, that's the rule. Fine.
Yeah.
It just escalated. It was a dumb escalation. Like, it was pointless. But
what about some of the other concepts, where, where I talk about maintaining frame, as you're dating women or you get into an LTR? Like, have you found ways to apply that?
I would never get into an LTR, but...
Okay. But I mean, if you're dating a bunch of these women, like let's say you're dating 3 or 4 of them simultaneously for 6 months. I mean, you're basically spinning multiple plates in long-term relationships, right? So there's
I can
always the concept of managing frame, when it comes to women. Have you been able to test that and apply that? I mean, like the dog issue was basically a shit test, like the dog and the hair and that sort of stuff. And you're like, well, if you don't like the dog's over there, the door's over there.
The door's over there. She did leave. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find that that's easy for you to do now?
Yeah, absolutely. And they love it. They respond to it. They respect it. It's like, at first, before you find your content, you're chasing single mommies. Like, you're so scared that there's going to be no one else out there. There's so many hot women out there. There's not a lot of high value men. So like, men need to level the hell up like ASAP, because there's a lot of attractive women. I can find 20 tomorrow. So
beautiful women are not a scarce resource out there, guys. It's high value, top shelf guys that can put a dent in the universe, know how to make bank, live in a strong masculine frame, you know, have combat skills. These guys are rare, super rare. And it's, you know, it's going to be dressed in overalls and look like work when you start to, you know, to begin to do it. But the payoff, as you can see with John himself, because he did it himself. How long did it take you to turn around your life? Like, what was the total time frame from leaving single mommy to today?
Year.
1 year.
Yeah,
in 1 year you did all that.
But I'm talking 80, 90 hours a week of tough
work. Yeah, because you committed yourself to it, right?
There was nothing more important. I was at the point of suicide when I broke up with her. Like, right, and I had two options. It's like, okay, call it quits or go play the game with Rich in my ear. And I was like, okay, I got a coach. Imagine me. It's like the Super Bowl, and you're my head coach, Bill Belichick, right? Whatever. Yeah. And you're telling me to make that pass.
What about the money part of it? Because I always get guys, you know, asking me about business and business ideas. So what about the money part of it? Because you went from $100,000 a year salary guy. Like, what are you doing now? And
no, it
how
wasn't
much you're earning, if you want to talk about that?
It was my own company.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my own company called Preferable Pups, and we matched people with people looking for puppies. I love dogs, is my thing.
Okay.
And it just was an underperforming business. Basically, I was able to take $100K out each year. But as of 3 months ago, I started applying really aggressive sales skills and basically networking with these high profile dog companies that I can't disclose, but I just signed a $300,000 6-month contract. I have one employee, so that's net profit, $300,000 in my pocket for 6 months worth of work. So, and we're able to satisfy that contract on automation. So it's kind of, feel free to check it out. I mean, my LinkedIn as well is open to the public. I mean, I just can't disclose the partner, but
Can you talk a little bit about your pivot, like your shift in your business mindset? Like what would, like, if you could attribute 1, 2, or 3 things, let's say, to the success that you're having now versus where you were at a year ago, what would you say that it is? Or the things that are
playing to win, listening, turning my car into educational studio, right? And testosterone. I mean, seriously.
There you go, guys.
I can't put it any simpler than that. I got off another deal call today with they're called Pet Plan, and they're the biggest pet insurance company, and they're so excited to work with me. So it's like, just the conversation and deal flow is just dominant, and I use frame control in business now.
Oh, yeah.
And I get a lot more done. Like, it's crazy. And with my family, I've cut off family members due to frame control. So
did you find that hard to do?
No. I hate my family. So like, that was the easiest part. Like, it was harder to cut off women than it was my own family.
So why would you cut off family? Like, what is it about them where you're like, okay, this is just not acceptable, I'm going to keep them at arm's length? Or is it just like a full ghost, like you're never talking to them again?
They're Mormons, so I'm not a Mormon. Their values do not align with my values. It's very hard to have conversations with them.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
And it just doesn't make sense, right? Like, to go over for Thanksgiving and what are we going to talk about? I can't contribute to the table. What
were the problems, if you don't mind talking a little bit about it? Like, was it like constant lectures about your lifestyle, and they wanted you to adopt
it's always right. But my family are all entrepreneurs, so it wasn't that. It was just like, LDS. They don't believe in multiple partners. Well, they do, but
as long as you're married to all of them, right?
But they can't do that anymore, like legally. But there's like a traditionalist. I don't know. LDS are weird, but no, it's about values, right? It's like, I drink coffee. You can't drink coffee if you're Mormon. And it's like those nitpicking conversations aren't worth my time.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So minimizing stress and all of that freed up more of your time for the pursuit of excellence and doing the work, then, is what you're saying. Like, you made some discriminatory choices about what you're doing with your day. Like, I can listen to Bitches Ain't Shit But Hoes and Tricks on the radio, or I can turn on a podcast or an audiobook. I can spend an afternoon with people that are going to lecture me about my lifestyle choices, or I can,
go to the gym, right? Close another. I did have a question for you, though.
Yeah.
I don't date women with tattoos. Well, I'll have fun with them I have tattoos and I started getting them removed. What do you think? How does that apply for men, though? Do you think as a man you can have tattoos and then I just don't want to sound like I'm contradicting myself or being a hypocrite?
Yeah, I don't think it matters for men because tattoos are a traditionally masculine endeavor. It's you know, it's always been that way, especially in like there's even tribal cultures in
Tongans and stuff,
Africa and Australia where they like tattoo their bodies, and it's not the women that are getting tatted up, it's the guys that do. So when women do, like it's the whole, you know, if I can put it this way, it's women trying to be more masculine and mimicking the behaviors of men, right? So getting like sleeve tats, you know, for example, it looks fine on a guy, right? Like I've seen lots of guys, I have friends with it. I've got enough scars already, like I don't need any more, so I'm just not into it, right? But
I'm not into it.
When you see women copying those behaviors, it just tells me that something's offside with the mental firmware. And a lot of the stuff that they're putting on their body
is self-mutilation.
Right. Yeah. I
had single mommy, she had a tattoo trying to cover up her scars on her stomach.
I've seen that a few times.
And she couldn't even finish it. It was a half done like birdcage, and it was the weirdest. Whenever I felt her stomach, it was like goo. Like it was just the weirdest. And she was the hottest girl at the time that I've ever been with. And now, I mean, I say I can easily land a 7 and an 8 when before it was a 2 and a 3 or a single mommy. So like I'm more happy with a compliant 6 or 7 than a non-compliant 9, 10 or 11.
Yeah, a pleasant 7 is always better than a bitchy 10.
Dude, I've had them all. I paid for them too. So
Jimmy's got a question for you here about your gym routine.
So I do push-pull leg split. That's simple. And sometimes I do a cardio for Sundays as my day off, but I'm in the gym 7 days a week. If I do anything extra, it's those foo-foo exercises, like you can hit your deltoids a certain way, but that's it. I mean, it's just stick to a plan, lift heavy shit, put it down, like Rich says, you're good to go.
Eat well, rest properly.
You got to eat well. Yeah, because my abs aren't visible because of the bulking process. So when I start cutting, the TRT should help with that, with the muscle wasting, I'm sure. And I'm looking forward to that, but whatever.
You can fast, like, you know, throughout the day, basically. Like you can have your last meal at 6, 7 o'clock, and then your next meal can be like lunchtime, right? Or like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock.
And have it as a big meal, because I'm not done growing. I want to hit like
you'll still grow. You'll still grow, but it's just your body will start to burn more fat while you're in the fasting phase, right?
I like that.
You're not going to lose any muscle like that. Like that usually tends to happen if you're doing like multiple day fasts, like 2, 3, 4 day fasts. Like that's when your body starts to like cannibalize muscle tissue because it's a good source of energy, and a lot of your fat starts to go then too.
Our bodies don't give a shit about us. Like it's like it could take the fat, but it's like nah, I'll take the muscle.
Yeah, it's about.
I hate that, man.
Yeah, it's about survival is really what your body is.
Yeah,
like there's lots of Evo Psych books. So recommendation for you, you know, since you're kind of going through all this unplugging sort of phase for yourself, in the pinned top comments of all my videos, I got an Amazon link. And there's books there that I recommend with Evo Psych. Yep. Listen to some of those because you're really going to fully get your head around what women are and what men are and what our places and roles are, you know, like basically here on the earth. Yep. So as you're kind of like moving through life now it's like, okay, well, I've seen Rich's videos, I've read the book, I've seen, you know, whoever in the space that I collaborate with. Then you start to understand like the science behind it all, right? And the dynamics between men and women and why you do what you do and why you have those limiting, you know, those barriers that you put up. You kind of draw like a perimeter around yourself and keep an us versus them sort of strategy. Check some of those out because you're going to like them. Did
you recommend the Evolution of Desire?
Evolution of Desire is a good book. Yeah.
So you recommend it. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I totally recommend that book.
I would say listen to it twice because there's a lot there. It's very dense.
But yeah, the point I'm trying to get at is like, I think most men watch your videos and then go back home and beat off and play video games. And if that's who you are, I mean, good for you. Keep watching the content, supporting the channel, but you can totally turn your life around, but it's going to be the hardest year of your life for sure.
Cool.